I have had quite a few students over the years who don't um, necessarily see learning as something that is for them. So they maybe think that studying is for nerds. It's not cool. It's not something they can do because they're not smart. And perhaps they've already decided that they're not going to engage with exam prep. They're going to do something else. And whilst every child is different, I think that is a very sad attitude for them to have, because learning is a lifelong experience for everybody, and we're all going down different journeys at different speeds. So comparing, all of those things are around comparing themselves to somebody else, and that's not in any way beneficial. And they're cutting themselves off from development opportunities that would help them in their future. So it's something that they've already decided is not for them, and approaching that conversation by saying you're wrong, isn't going to be helpful. So instead, I come about it from the other direction, and I say, what is important to you? What would you like to do long term? And quite a lot of the time, these students are students that are perhaps victims of peer pressure and don't necessarily want to have conversations about their personal life with me. But we can build that trust over time, and we can, certainly parents can have that conversation with them and find out, if you don't already know, what particular things they do enjoy, what things are motivating to them, what they would like to do after school, if not further studies. What is actually motivating and interesting to them? What would they choose to spend their time on? And I would encourage you not to make that assumption based on what they do choose to spend their time on at the moment, because that might be based on any maybe barriers and boundaries that they've put around themselves in their own mind, and think that they can't, that's all that they can do. I would encourage you to push a little deeper and find out actually what they would like to be able to do. And undoubtedly, as I've already said, because everyone is on a lifelong learning journey, there will be benefit to them in committing to a development journey of their own, whatever their goal is. But it will help to make choices, and you can highlight to them the ways that keeping their academic options open can help them with that, and how that can be made more personal to them. Everybody is subject to an element of peer pressure, because we are not all sociopaths, and we care about what other people think of us to different degrees, to some degrees that can be quite crippling, but everybody cares what other people think. And people do just naturally compare themselves to everyone around them. So it's not that anyone's doing anything wrong, and I would encourage that conversation would have no judgment associated with it, which is what I'm sure you would do anyway. But to be aware that people are essentially putting themselves in their own little boxes and perhaps limiting their own abilities. And if you can have that honest conversation with them, it can become much more apparent why they look like they're making foolish decisions for their future, and where that thoughts processes come from. All of them have got reasons. People don't self-sabotage just for the fun of ruining their own lives. Try and work out exactly what kind of things might be going on in the back of their mind when they cut themselves off from what you can see is their potential.